Coming up in the program, a speedy delivery at a gas station, healthy options for back to school, and there is no excuse to not de-sex. Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Thursday the 5th of February. I'm Hilary Entwistle. A baby was in so much of a rush to come into the world this morning, its mother was forced to give birth on the forecourt of a Z petrol station on Hewletts Road. A Mount Maunganui woman was on her way to Tauranga Hospital but had to stop at the station's truck stop when her labour progressed quicker than expected. St John's paramedics shortly followed the car carrying the expectant mother. Site manager Vicky Barnett says the baby was born shortly after 8 a.m. Tauranga City Council is looking to go back on their word on a prior agreement to pay their share of the Tauranga Moana cycle trail from Omokoroa to Ngātai Road. Councillors voted 6-4 against providing $500,000 for the project on the grounds that the government should be paying for the national trail, with council money being spent on cycle trails within the city. The city section of the trail is from the Wairoa River to Ngātai Road near Otomotai Road, where it will connect up with the city cycle network. It is believed the Tauranga Energy Consumers Trust will pay for the bridge across the Wairoa River. The decision is a turnaround on agreements made at the City Council Western Bay of Plenty Joint Governance Committee in August 2011. New Zealand Transport Agency advises motorists to expect short delays when travelling on State Highway 1B, Victoria Road in Cambridge this month, as work on the Cambridge section of the Waikato Expressway continues. Stop-go traffic management will be in place from between February the 10th and 12th between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. and delays of approximately 5 minutes are possible. The traffic management will create room for cranes to get into position to lift the Victoria Road interchange beams over State Highway 1B. Looking at our weather for Waitangi Day now, Hamilton, showers clearing at night, a fresh southwesterly dying out. Your expected high is 22 and an overnight low of 7. Waikato, showers with strong southwesterlies. Those showers will be clearing and winds changing to a lighter southeast at night. Paeroa 23 and 11, Matamata 19 and 10, Te Aomutu 22 and 7 and Tokoroa 19 and 6. Tauranga, fine spells and a few showers. You're actually going to have a gusty southwesterly there. Tauranga, a high of 23 and an overnight low of 11. The rest of the bay, fine spells and a few showers clearing in the evening. Southwesterlies strong in exposed places and dying out during the night. Te Puke 21 and 10. Looking to the seas now for our marine forecast. West Coast Raglan, southwest swell becoming heavy for a time on Friday. Overnight Friday, a southerly of 15 knots with the rough seas easing. High tide at 12:38. East Coast Bay of Plenty, southwesterly of 30 knots, changing late evening to a southerly of 15 knots. Fine spells and a few showers. Just ahead, lunchtime options for going back to school. Welcome back to Central News on TV Central. Lunch Orders is making it easy for children to have healthy, nutritious school lunches at a price that makes it affordable for parents. After starting a pilot scheme in 6 schools in Term 4 2014, they're branching out to 16 schools around Hamilton this year. Co-founder Rick Foray spoke with Anne-Marie about the feedback from schools, parents and those fussy little eaters, the children.
We really believe in social business, so doing business for good. And as a part of that is empowering community and businesses to solve real-world problems. We know that school lunches and children going to school hungry has been in the media a lot. So it is something that's prevalent in our schools and it's a real-world problem. So we aim to partner with schools and organisations like KidsCan to raise money to provide meals for those children.
So how does that work through your website?
Parents have an opportunity to, at every order, to donate a small amount towards a child that might be going to school hungry. And we also supply 10% of our net profit that goes towards that initiative as well.
Now, school is starting again next week, of course. What are you hoping will be in lunch boxes that might come from home?
Well, we would like to think that we're giving children a taste of healthy food, and then that can be continued throughout the week with lunch boxes coming from home. So healthy, fresh food, lots of fruits and things that haven't been processed, you know, as close to the source as possible would be really lovely.
Tell me about your menu. What types of food do you have on offer?
We have a big variety of food, and that's one of the things we want to expand on as we go, continually keeping it fresh. For example, we've got things like macaroni and cheese, shepherd's pie, chicken wraps. We've got gluten-free and nut-free options for those who may have allergies. And also we have a make your own sandwich option, which empowers the child to kind of build their own sandwich. That may be, you know, they can choose their wrap, they can choose what kind of, whether it's a pita, a sub, and what fillings are in it. And we find that when they're empowered to make those choices, they're most likely to eat it. So yeah.
What's your most popular food item?
The smoothie. The smoothie flies out of the door, and children love it.
And it stays fresh and everything when they by the time it gets to school?
Absolutely. It's made on the morning and delivered in a thermal container that keeps it nice and cool.
So how does it work? How do parents order?
They go online to create an account and add their child to their account. They're then free to browse our menu. They can sit with the child and choose what kind of items they may have. They then choose their delivery dates, and payment is made through an online payment system. That then goes to us on the day that they chose to deliver. It gets made fresh, and we deliver it to the schools at morning tea or lunchtime.
How many schools are you in Hamilton now?
In Hamilton, starting next week, we will be in 16 schools.
To find out more or to place an order, go to lunchorders.co.nz. You can also find them on Facebook. Our next guest, Dave Baxter of Avalanche City, was at Festival 1 recently. I caught up with him to chat about his new album he is working on and if this album will have a different sound.
It's so, the way that I can probably explain that further is it's still with the same instruments. It's still very like organic, and I've recorded it all myself the same way that I did the last album, except I think I recorded it at home. But the music has kind of changed and the songwriting has kind of changed, but the way that it all kind of sounds is still similar. So it's a similar thing, but definitely progressive.
Are you proud of it yet?
I am proud of it now. I was hating it. So after I finished recording it, last album I mixed myself as well, and that sort of, you record your album, then you mix it and it's mastered. And by the end of recording this album, I just couldn't face mixing it. I was so sick of the songs. But I've got another guy to mix it, and he did a great job.
Sometimes it's like that, you know, when you're very nice, you kind of get a step back for a bit, don't you?
Yeah,
actually.
And he's kind of re-excited me about the songs, so it's been a good thing.
So when are you gonna take this album on tour, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'll definitely tour it. Yeah, I'll play different shows and go overseas. And, yeah.
Now, your first song, obviously the first song that went crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How'd that feel?
That was weird. It still feels weird. I still hear it sometimes, and I don't know how it feels. It doesn't even really feel like my song anymore. It's weird. Yeah, I heard it in the marketplace the other day, and I was just like, this doesn't even feel like me. It's so strange. But yeah, it's cool.
Did you have one of those moments where you kind of went, wow, I made it kind of thing, or was it still doesn't feel like that?
Nah, I don't think you could ever, I don't think anyone ever could really feel like that. I mean, unless you've got like wild, crazy success. You still always compare yourself to other people and you're like, I can get better, I can write better songs. And I think that's a healthy thing to have that kind of, plus, yeah, if you get a big hit and feel like you've made it, it's probably the beginning of the end, really.
I know, there's a lot of people like that in showbiz.
Yeah, that's
true. So what was the inspiration for that song? I mean, it just went crazy.
That was, I just, at the time, I was kind of feeling a little bit trapped and I really wanted to travel the world, and me and my wife, we just wanted to leave and see some crazy stuff and have adventures, and I was feeling really trapped, and so I think that song came out. It wasn't like a conscious thing, it wasn't, my songs are never like, I'm gonna write a song about this, but it's just whatever I'm feeling at the moment.
So what's the process like? Like just sit down with a notepad and a guitar and just, you know, kind of potter away, or?
Yes, that one sort of was a little bit like that, like sit down with the guitar and lyrics and melody and chords all at the same time. And then other ones are just like a bass line or something, or like a guitar lick first. Yeah, like I was saying before, like the creative process can't be the same every time, otherwise you stagnate. So everything's like changes. Even in this new album, I'd write songs in different genres and convert them back into folk music and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, totally. It's fun.
How on earth do you go about doing that?
I mean, you know, like a song is like, no matter what genre it's in, can always be converted into something else. It's still like, once you strip it back, it's still like you just get the core of it and you can just do whatever you want with it. And I love experimenting, and that's what I always said, is Avalanche City's like an experimentation kind of thing, and so that's just how I have fun.
See, someone who's not musically talented at all, like, just don't even know how you would start doing that. It just sounds like crazy to me.
Yeah, really? Well, I don't know. I mean, you can always play like any song on guitar, like anything.
Wow.
You look up YouTube covers, everyone does it. It's not that hard.
This one comes and this one goes. So here we are across the road. In whispers, you say let it go home.
Coming up next on Central News, blues music in the park. Welcome back to Central News. If you like blues music and picnicking, you may like to head along to a Marchwood Blues Picnic.
You can expect to see a fabulous lineup of musicians and entertainment for 9 hours, barring the 10 to 15 minutes changeover between bands. So we keep it really tight. Nice professional operation.
It's a good time to go to the toilet.
Peter Arts is running it. Okay. Don't screw up, because Pete will get angry.
But it's good, because you give everyone a bit of time to go to the toilet or get something to eat.
Or go to the bar, or you know. And speaking of toilets, you know, we have these flash dunnies from Superloo that are all tiled and, you know, like got the proper bathroom thingy going on in there. And
you know what? You almost sold me on that alone, because there is nothing worse than a grubby portaloo.
My wife wouldn't have a bar of a Portaloo. You know, that's it. End of story. You know, there's no. You know, it's either 5-star hotel, you know, or nothing. Right? Okay. We don't do tents. You know.
Woman of my own heart.
You know, I have a hammock hanging up under the pine trees down by the creek, you know, just so that I can go and hide.
Now, toilets aside,
Yes,
what
okay.
with the actual music, who will be playing?
Josh Durning up first. He's acoustic guitarist. Then Black Velvet, that's Tara Watson and her band. Then Darren Watson from Wellington. Then Tony Joe White from America. Then the Flaming Mudcats from Auckland. And then the Peter Archer Band to finish the night off.
I've heard they're pretty good.
They're hot. They're hot. They jump on hot. Yeah.
So you're kind of going to start it off with a more acoustic slow feel,
well, you know,
and then
people want to sit down and eat the crayfish and their oysters and stuff like that. You know, I mean, I'm amazed at some of the food people bring along to my picnic, mate. It just blows me away, and I go, "Well, can I share?"
I love this idea that, you know, it's a concert with a picnic. We don't have many of those nowadays, do we? Because, you know, you're not allowed to bring your own food and bring your own drink and that kind of thing.
Well, now there's an issue with the BYO thing, the licensing carry-on. They're going to change all the rules because of these idiots in Gisborne.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So now they've shifted the goalposts. However, they've let us carry on with what we're going to do this year. Next year, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. Yeah.
So why did you start this? You know, we have Tauranga has been a little bit of a. We've got the jazz festival, and then we've got blues, brews and barbecues and that kind of thing. We do have this kind of jazz blues little hub here. Why did you want to, is that why you wanted to start it? There's lots of artists here?
There's lots of artists here. I've tended to, in the past, have a lot of local artists. I want to give everybody a shot, you know. It's like, you know. And we've had some fantastic local artists, you know, Chris Gunn and guys like him, you know, it's just great. Mike Garner. Yeah, I started it off basically because there wasn't a decent blues gig around. Like, end of story. Blues, brews and barbecues was hardly that, right? And full of idiot factor. So my target audience is the 40-plus audience. Although we had a few people there last year that really enjoyed themselves, and in fact blew me away the amount of young people that came up to me and said, "Thanks, Pete, we've had the most awesome day." You know, so that sort of, you know, gives me a few feathers and things.
You can purchase tickets on their website. And our last story for this evening, Paws for Life Charitable Trust is a registered charity that aims to reduce the population of unwanted animals in the community by rescuing, rehabilitating and rehoming animals. They are currently coping with the kitten season that is in full swing. Anne-Marie spoke with manager Rachel Ma about the rehabilitation process.
So, for example, last week we had 4 kittens that were picked up from the side of the road. So they were quite hissy and spitty and not at all friendly. So they have gone off to a foster home where the fosterer can spend time with them and nurture them and flea and worm them and kind of get them back on the road to health. And it helps with predictability as well. So they kind of get to know that person, they know what's going to happen each day, so they can start to let down their guard and recover. Other animals like Sideways Bob has come in. He has an infection in his head, so he's got a head tilt and he just goes round and round in circles. So he had nowhere to go, so we brought him in and he's on medication, and we just follow that through with the vets until he's ready for a home. So he's a beautiful animal, there's no need to put him down if we can treat him. So some animals stay in here for a little bit longer because they need to recover.
You must have a fantastic team of fosterers.
Our fosterers are amazing. They open up their homes and let the animals become part of the family. So they get either to spend time with other cats or other dogs, with children, the normal household noises, the vacuum cleaners, the cars, the yelling, the TV, you know, all the normal hustle and bustle. So when we re-adopt them out, they've been exposed to life, so they settle into new homes a lot quicker with their new families.
You're funded purely by donations. What do those donations fund?
So donations pay for our vet bills. So our vet bills each month are roughly around $5,000, and that is generally just your de-sexing, your vaccinations, your fleeing, your worming, anything the animals need, they get. So if we need to buy special food for them, then we do that. So all donations, it's a pay it forward system. So we've got a cat at the vet today. He's having a really big procedure in his mouth, a dental. So we adopted him out for the same price as everybody else, but we're clearly spending 3 or 4 times that much. But it just means other healthier animals that didn't need extra spent on them, it's all helping to pay for this cat to have his surgery.
It's kitten season at the moment,
Isn't it?
How many kittens do you have?
We are absolutely inundated with phone calls, people needing help, and loads of animals. So this afternoon, just as like happens every day, we're having 2 mums and 2 litters come in. A mum and a litter came in last night. We have orphans come in, and then we have adult cats come in as well. So this month alone we have had 51 animals come in, and so far to date, just in January, we've had 65 go out, and that's just cats and kittens.
How many kittens can you expect to rehouse this season?
So kitten season last year, we actually didn't have kittens for 3.5 months, which has never happened before. So that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to have a season over the warmer months of the year where you've got lots of kittens. So that tells us that de-sexing is working. So there is actually now a season rather than it being all year long. So it's just as many as we can fit in, as many fosterers as we've got. So hundreds and hundreds.
What should somebody do if they have a cat that isn't de-sexed?
So there are lots of opportunities out there for people to have their animals de-sexed at a cheaper rate. All vets usually have different prices, so it is worth looking around. At the moment, the Humane Alternative are doing $30 de-sexing for all felines, so whether it be a cat or a kitten, a male or a female. So they can call Humane Alternative, which they can get in touch with via us. So that's $30 de-sexing, you can't get any cheaper than that.
To find out more about Paws for Life, check out their Facebook page, full of photos of gorgeous animals that need a new home. Facebook.com/Paws for Life. You can also find out ways to donate at their website, pawsforlife.co.nz. That is Central News for today. If you would like to get in contact with us, you can via our Facebook, centralnews.tv, or you can email us, news@tvcentral.co.nz. Join me again tomorrow night for more stories from the Waikato and the Bay of Plenty. I'm Hilary Entwistle. I hope you have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.